Welcome to a Yakuza 0 100% trophy guide video. In this video we're going to talk about the We Built This City trophy. So for this trophy you have to complete Kiryu's side storyline of the business management, and essentially there's a lot to cover in this video, so I'll just go left, right, up, down, wherever with it. So basically with the business management you get this pretty early on in the game. I would recommend doing it early on as well, just so you've got a decent source of income coming in, and keep going back to it as you progress through the game, just to keep it ticking along. So I would recommend, firstly, beating Mr. Shakedown quite a lot, so you got a decent chunk of money. So you'll get 5 different areas with regards to the business itself, and within each area there's 10 buildings, and most of those you can buy separately, which is why you need the money from Mr. Shakedown. But there are some that involve things like Sega, so you'd have to like befriend the Sega girl, and then that will become free as a building to you once you've completed that mini sort of sub-story / side friend bit. So it's the same with Sushi Jin, it's the same with the store, the M store I think it is. So there's loads of those types of things in there. But there's a great guide on those things, and it's cyricz, so I'll link that in the description. But once you've got all those, like once you've gone into the business management minigame main building, you can basically set that up with a security guard and a manager. So the manager is what's going to bring in the money, and the security guard is sort of there for, show. But basically, the higher the number, the better it's going to do on a certain run. So if someone's got, say, 5 weeks of runs, each character has like 5 weeks of runs, I think, so it might start off with 1, which means you'll get a percentage times on top of the usual revenue you'd get, and then maybe the next day's 4, so that'd be like a bigger percentage increase, so that means your revenue is going to be more each time. And then you've got, if it's minus, it'll be less than the standard, basically. But to improve the standard, you want to get these buildings up to S rank, and you're going to need to do this for completion anyway. So to get it up to S rank, you literally just invest in the buildings. So you go into the sort of section, so you'd have like the media section, you'd have the, gambling section. There's 5 total sections in all. So let's just say you go into the media section, there's 10 buildings, and there's people that are used to upgrade the buildings. You get a lot of those through sub-stories. The good ones you get through sub-stories, so I'd recommend doing sub-stories as you go, as early as possible, and keep coming back to it, and you might get better people to upgrade your buildings better. But the way to upgrade the buildings effectively is to get people with 2 circles, a circle within a circle, in the specific category that the building is. So if the building's like a soap land or whatever, you want someone with the the romance perk or whatever. But like you'll see it when it's on there. It makes it very obvious, so it's not as daunting as it sounds. But yeah, so make money from Shakedown, upgrade your buildings as you go. There's a time limit where you set the sort of business going for like to get a revenue stream started, and basically the buildings will generate the income as one overarching thing. So like the 10 buildings in the media area will go to one payment, and that payment will take time, and generally the later on in the game you are, so like in the 4th or 5th areas, the longer it takes, but the more money you get. So you want to put your best managers in the later business areas if possible, and keep switching them around, because once you hit the 5th day or whatever it is, the 5th time you've done it, it just stays on the 5th number. So if it's like -3 or something on the 5th number, it'll keep doing that every time afterwards. So it's a bit of fiddling around with managers and stuff. You have to keep going back and forth between them if you want to make the most money out of it. But yeah, I'd recommend doing this early, get on it as quickly as possible, buy the buildings as quickly as possible, and then you should have a relatively decent time later on in the game. And if you're doing it throughout the game, it's less tedious, because at the end of the game you need to S rank every single building, which takes a while to say the least. So if you're doing it throughout the game, it won't be as bad. It's only Kiryu that can do this, by the way. Majima's got his own separate cabaret minigame. But yeah, I think that's explained a fair amount of it. It's not as difficult as it sounds with the explanation. Like, if you go into it, it's pretty easy to get grips with. It's just very tedious, and there's a lot to it. So once you beat a certain area as well, basically as you take over a certain percentage of the area, so say you get up to 50% in the Media Kings area or whatever, I think like there'll be a cutscene, and then you'll have to go to a certain place, and then like something will happen, and then like if you get to 75%, it'll challenge you to like a mini game of some sort. Some of it's karaoke, some of it's Sega mini games, some of it's all kinds of stuff. So if that happens, save it before you do the mini game, because you get a 10% increase, and a 10% increase is huge to your area, because it just means you're just gonna have to level up the other stuff. You level up the stuff anyway, so it's not the end of the world if you do lose it, but you will lose 10% of the gain, so you're spending more time doing it basically, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So in this actual video, I'm showing you the end of the process. So you're fighting the final king, and then the actual overarching king of all the kings sends his goons after you, and then you have to fight his goons in a separate place, and then you have to fight the main guy. And the story's pretty cool, you know, it's typical Yakuza stuff, but it's pretty excellent. But yeah, all of this goes towards completion, so if you're going for the 100%, that's what it is, you know. It's a long, arduous task, but this will help you exponentially with, you know, buying stuff, buying food, buying weapons, gear, you know, everything that involves money, skills especially. But, you know, Shakedown's your first source of revenue, and then the business management's the second, so you'll be doing this throughout the game anyway. Hopefully you won't have too much trouble with it. If you do have any specific questions or whatever, fire them my way. I'll try and answer them the best I can. There's no particularly speedy way to do this, as far as I'm aware. Like, the quickest and best way to do it would be to, you know, keep coming back to it throughout the game, because you'll get more money and stuff like that. That'd be the most effective way to do it, but if you leave it to the end... also, a major thing that I've not mentioned actually yet is that it unlocks Kiryu's Dragon Style. I think it's called Dragon Style. It's been a while. So it's his like legendary style basically. So you get a load of moves for that. You're gonna need that for completion as well, I think. So it's definitely worth doing. And if you get used to that sort of fighting style, then even better. And there are some cool moves, you know. If you level it up, he becomes super powerful. There's an infinite leveling system as well. I don't know if it's infinite. It might be like level 99 or something, but only a few people have been crazy enough to do that. But the leveling system increases attack power, increases health, increases everything. So like your health bar will go up past, like it'll go up to a certain point, but then it'll like be a second health bar, but it won't show on the screen, if you know what I mean. So it's definitely worth doing to make your life easier in general. If you want to do this on Legendary, I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world. Like, it would help you a lot in terms of fighting certain bosses in Amon, and you know, I made the mistake of doing the whole game on hard, and I thought in my head, I don't know why, I've done it already once before as well, but in my head I thought if I do it on hard, I can just carry over all the stuff. and you can't carry over the stuff. So I was absolutely devastated. So I did legendary with none of the stuff. Be careful here as well, they do a lot of damage. I was not expecting them to hit this hard, I don't think. So yeah, just keep an eye out on that. So the fights are pretty dangerous when you got two fast guys sort of surrounding you and they're hitting you from both sides. It's pretty awkward. But yeah, if you can deal with them. They're really sort of highly defense buffed as well. Goes into beast mode, tries to take him out. But yeah, they do a lot of damage, don't they? So beast mode's probably not your ideal candidate here. Unless you can just nail him. You're taking a load of heals and that. These stun moves are ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Poor show by me, though. Very poor show. But yeah, if you need any help with these videos, please comment in the comment section. I'm doing this to sort of help people rather than, you know, anything else. So yeah, I don't get paid for it. I don't get this and that. So wasting my time doing it. So hopefully it helps you. And if it doesn't, then no, that's just too bad. But yeah, I do appreciate the support I've had on quite a lot of these videos. I've had one, I think, two maybe negative comments, but one of them was constructive criticism. It was fair enough on it was on one of the Yakuza 3 videos, but what he was saying was basically, you've not told me anything how to do this. But if I told him how to do it in that video, then I wouldn't have had to do all the other mini games and all the other stuff explaining how to get rich in the game. So he's just on the wrong video basically, but he is right in the way that I didn't explain it in the video to help him. But if he'd asked me the question, I would have answered him, and you know, that would have been that, and he would have gone off and known what to do. But instead he commented in an angry way. So it is what it is. But yeah, most of the comments I get are really sort of positive, and you know, people are trying to 100% certain games and stuff. It's good to see people putting more time into the Yakuza games and stuff, because they're definitely one of the best games out there, really. Story-wise, they're awesome. Combat-wise, this one in particular is great. But yeah, mini-games, yeah, sub-stories, just everything about it was cool. Like the first time I did it, didn't want to put it down. And then once you get to like the 7th one of doing 100%, you kind of burn out. But you know, it's a great series, and yeah, as always as well, go on cyric's game facts link that I'll link it in the description. That will break things down and show you maps and stuff for where to go. I'm not really a professional video maker, so I'm not really into that. I'm just trying to put out some content that's helpful, I guess. But yeah, you come down to the final guy, who is the Finance King. He's got a gun, which he seems to not use if you get in close quarters, but he might dodge away and try and attack. But he's definitely easier than the other two. But yeah, make sure you're fully healed. Got heals in your sort of backpack or whatever it is in your inventory. You can beast mode him. Beast mode him to death. Throw all this concrete at him. Tabletop pieces. Unbelievable scenes. But yeah, just do what you can do basically. He's got some cool moves in beast mode actually when he's pretty much fully upgraded. If you're in full heat mode as well, I don't think you can get knocked down, so that is a blessing and a curse at the same time sometimes, because sometimes if you're in beast mode he just starts blocking or whatever, and he's just stood there taking damage, and a lot of these people do a lot of damage, so it's quite worrying. But yeah, this is the end of the fight, and that'll be the end of We Built This City trophy. So yeah, big thank you for everyone for watching. I'll be finishing Yakuza 0 videos, and then I'll be doing Yakuza Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2. Oh, I just need to edit them and audio them, which will take a while, but yeah. And then the next project will be Kingdom Hearts, 100% all games pretty much, so look forward to that if you're into Kingdom Hearts. I've already done 3, but I'll probably redo it, to be honest. The That was one of my first projects. It's kind of rough. But yeah. I'm debating on not doing collectibles and stuff, but it is what it is. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Anyway, take care. Peace out. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.